What we're here today, and what we're going to be going over is the MD Reset Facial that was created for Dr. Cockrum, Dr. Kimberly Cockrum. And today we have Teresa Fox. She is our beautiful model. We're going to be walking you through all the different steps, and throughout the process we'll be describing exactly what is happening with the skin, the key ingredients, and what they're going to be doing for the skin as well, the results that we're looking to expect, and the effects. And we'll be getting some feedback from Teresa throughout the process here. She'll be letting us know what she's feeling, what she's experiencing, and we'll have different scales of, we'll grade from 0 to 10. And so everybody here will be able to almost feel what she's feeling. Okay, so we're going to, Teresa's already cleansed. Everything is already, all the makeup's removed. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to prepare the skin for the actual peel. And the prep, all it does is, it's almost like a toner, but there are no humectants to it. So what we're going to be doing is removing any kind of alkalinity off from the skin so that it is nice and acidic. Because once the peel makes contact with the skin, we don't want anything there to be neutralizing the effect of the peel. Okay? So what we're going to do here is we have our MD peel prepping solution. And all we are going to do is apply it to a little bit of a, just a little bit of a, I have a little cotton pad here. You can use a cotton ball if you'd like. And we don't need a lot, just a little bit. And we're just going to apply this everywhere we're going to be doing the peel. It'll be a little cool, so you might want to let your client, or patient in this case, know that to expect a little bit of a cool little chill. And we're also making sure we're getting the neck, because that's what we're going to be doing the treatment on as well. So all the way from the neck to the top. Alright, so this next part, we're going to measure how much of the actual peel. Now, this is called the MD Reset Peel. There are 4 different acids in here. We have glycolic, salicylic, lactic, and malic. There's a combination of the 4, and each one has its own purpose. The beautiful part about the treatment is it will treat every single kind of skin condition. Hyperpigmentation, acne, any kind of an anti-aging treatment, and it can be done even on the most sensitive skin types. And I'll tell you just a second why we can do it on the most sensitive skin types as well. But the measuring process is we're actually just going to use the cap. The cap we're going to use the cap as the measuring unit. We have our little mixing bowl right here, and all we do is fill this cap and dispense it into our little mixing bowl. And that is exactly what you're gonna, the amount that we're gonna be needing. And just like that. The peel itself actually has a hint of a green color to it. That's from the chlorophyll. There's a whole apple theme in here. And the reason why we have an apple theme is because the analogy that we're going to be using today. And that is what happens when we peel an apple. And we're going to be applying this starting from the forehead, working little circular motions all the way around, and we're going to be leaving this on for at least 4 to 5 minutes. You can leave this on longer, but that's only for clients or patients that you had that you know that can withstand the treatment. So the peel is 38%. That means of all the acidity in there. But the unique part of it is it has vitamin C. It actually has 2 forms of vitamin C. one water and one oil soluble. We also use an ingredient in this peel that's called ferulic acid. And ferulic acid comes from the asafoetida root, which is it's actually used in food. If you have Indian cuisine, it will put asafoetida in the actual food as a digestive. Topically, we have found that asafoetida, or in this case ferulic acid, is the #1 hyperpigmentation preventer. It outperforms hydroquinone, outperforms kojic acid, arbutin, licorice root, bilberry, you name it. And what it does is it prevents the tyrosinase enzyme from being activated, which sends a chemical message to a group of cells called the melanocytes that form the melanin. And so this peel, in the actual treatment part, will be removing the surface dead skin cells and also delivering all of these ingredients, these high concentrated antioxidants, into the epidermis. We're going to cause a rapid cell replication process here that will bring the hyperpigmented skin cells up to the surface, where eventually they will be sloughed off, and this is how we can naturally correct hyperpigmentation. The problem with hyperpigmentation is a person's lifestyle. What you'll have is somebody who loves the outdoors, swimming, tennis, golf, and we can make those hyperpigmented areas diminish. Sometimes we can completely make them go away, but if a person is going back outside into the sun, those hyperpigmented spots are going to return. The skin has a memory. The beautiful part about ferulic acid, in combination with vitamin C, is it prevents that hyperpigmentation from coming back. And we're just going to use up the rest of this. Now, making sure that you're being very careful around the nose, because we don't want to have this touching the membranes inside the nose at all, and especially the eyes. You can get nice and close to the eye, but be very careful not to get it in the eye. You'll get a bit of a stinging feeling, and that's not comfortable. So let's ask Teresa here what she's feeling right now. Teresa, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being nothing, 10 you're on fire, what are you experiencing?
2 or 3.
Two or
Just
three.
a slight stinging, nothing really too strong.
And this is exactly what we're always going to expect. It is an aggressive peel, but we shouldn't be expecting irritation. The vitamin C, the ferulic acid, there's also green tea, chamomile, calendula. In here, vitamin K, apple seed extract, and the chlorophyll. All of those antioxidants are countering the acids. They're keeping the skin nice and calm, which is beautiful. This is for anybody who has rosacea, sensitivity. Fantastic. So back to that apple analogy. What happens when we peel the apple? If we let the apple sit out, it will start to oxidize, starts to turn brown. The same exact process happens to the skin after we exfoliate. We remove those dead skin cells, and then those new skin cells that are alive and they can hold moisture, they get that beautiful glow for us. What happens is they will go get oxidized as well. So for the apple to prevent that oxidation, we use a lot of, or just squeeze a little bit of lemon or lime juice on there. In the same exact way, the reason why all these antioxidants are in the peel is because we're delivering those antioxidants, that lemon or lime juice, on those new skin cells. So peel the apple, squeeze lemon or lime on there, and it preserves it much longer. For the skin, we're removing the dead skin cells, and we're infusing vitamin C, ferulic acid, all these other antioxidants, so the oxidation process isn't going to be occurring right away. Not too many treatments like this actually have the vitamin C in the actual peel. So there's going to be a lapse. And then even that little bit of lapse, there's some oxidation. We don't want to even have a chance of that happening right away. The next step after we do the peel is going to be Neutralizer. The Neutralizer is very unique, and most neutralizers, all they do is just stop the acidity. They're very alkaline in their pH. This neutralizer has a lot of vitamin C and again that ferulic acid. So even in the neutralizing stage, we're going to be treating the skin. And then we're going to go into the serum. Now the serum is probably the most impressive part about this whole treatment because it's something you can do at home, and actually you should be doing at home, especially in the morning time. It has 20% vitamin C, again, both water and lipid soluble. It has the ferulic acid in a very high concentration. We also have added resveratrol in there, which helps the cells live 160 times longer. That's amazing. And resveratrol, you can take it internally as well. Comes from grape skin. It's in the red wine for all of you wine lovers out there. You just need 1,000 bottles of red wine to get the same effect. So slow down. When we get to the last stage, and this is probably the funnest part and the most experiential, the mask is actually an applesauce. Again, vitamin C, the ferulic acid, and then we also added DNA and RNA extracts. And they're just great building blocks for cell replication. This is when we're really going to pay attention to what Teresa's experiencing and feeling, because it's going to go through three different stages. We're going to have a warm and tingly stage, then it'll be a cool and tingly stage, and then once it sets, about 15 minutes later, it should be nice and tight. Alright, so for right now, well, let's check back in with Teresa. Teresa, how are we doing?
It's fine, it's subsiding.
Subsiding? Mm-hmm. Okay. Teresa's got some pretty tough skin. So, what was it, up to 2, 3 maybe?
Yeah, I can feel a slight tingle as well.
Slight tingle, perfect. Just because the client or patient is not experiencing severe irritation does not mean it's not working. It's designed to stay calm. Okay? Been a couple of minutes already, about almost 4 or 5. We're going to neutralize. This is a neutralizer right here. And we're going to do the same exact thing. Shake it up a little bit. Put on a little cotton pad here. Again, you can use a cotton ball. It is a little cool, so I'm going to let Teresa know, okay, this will be a little bit cool. Just kind of a heads up. And we just apply it everywhere where the peel is applied. After this stage, we're actually going to remove the excess or the peel itself by a little bit of a cleanse. And we'll just use water. We actually won't use a cleanser. Are you experiencing any tingling anywhere else?
Oh, there's still some on my nose.
A little bit on the nose, okay. Anywhere else? Okay. We just have some tepid water here. We don't want too cold or too hot, especially after the peel, because the skin could be a little bit irritated. And all we're doing is we're removing the residue from the peel. And right away in this cleansing process, we can feel a little bit of water tension. So what happens when we remove those dead skin cells, we have all the new skin cells that are exposed, and they're actually holding moisture now. And when they hold moisture, that's when we get water tension. Kind of like a squeaky clean feeling. Is there any more tingling anywhere?
No.
Okay. And at this point, we'll just make sure the skin is nice and dry. And the next step is going to be the serum. This is the C20 ferulic serum with resveratrol. It also has a green kind of a hint to it, and that again is from the chlorophyll. Kind of like a green apple theme. 1 full pump is plenty. This serum can be used for any skin type, all the way from dry, sensitive to acneic, oily. There are no silicones in here. It will not clog the pores whatsoever. The serum does have a lot of slip to it, and what will happen is when we apply this, we're going to massage it around until it metabolizes and gets completely absorbed into the skin. And once absorbed, there will be barely any evidence that there was anything actually applied on the skin, which is nice, because if you're applying any kind of makeup or another product over it, sometimes the product or a serum underneath can be sticky or tacky or just kind of feel like it's sitting on the skin. When this is metabolized, it will be completely absorbed. Because of this step here, we're going to be seeing the results of this treatment extend out to almost 4 days. One of the complaints is after treatments like this, well, that's great, you know, the peel looks great today and maybe tomorrow, but that's about it. Once this vitamin C is absorbed into the skin, it will stay it will stay in the skin and active anywhere from 2 to 4 days. You will not be able to rinse it out. And we want to make sure that we get every single area or spot that the peel was on. Again, we want to make sure that those skin cells have that lemon or lime juice that we're talking about with the apple analogy, because we do not want them oxidizing right away. We want them to hang around. That's where we're going to have that beautiful natural glow, very different than shine. Makeup will go on Makeup will go on much smoother, more even, won't be flaky or cakey. There's also a little bit of salicylic and malic acid in this serum, and that again is to, when you're applying it on a daily basis, to gently exfoliate some of that skin buildup so that the ingredients can just penetrate. Okay, starting to feel like it's metabolizing all the way in. Okay, which brings us to our last step here. We're going to be using the Apple C Tightening Mask. Again, this is going to go through 3 different stages over the course of about 15 minutes. Get warm and tingly, cool and chill, and then nice and tight and taut. Okay? It looks and smells exactly like applesauce. That's because it is. About 4 to 5 full pumps Use a fan brush to apply. Once you apply it, it needs to be a nice thin layer, but once applied, do not massage. It will be a little bit of cool as well, so we'll let our, in this case, patient, Teresa know. Teresa, this will be a little cool, okay? And what I do, this is just a little bit of a tip, don't start on the forehead, because if you start on the forehead, it actually drops the body temperature pretty quickly. Always start with a cool product right underneath the eyes. Somebody asked before if we can eat this, and I said, yeah, you could probably eat it, but it might tingle on the way down. So make sure you keep your children and pets away from it if you're using this product at home, which is one of is the only other product that you can actually use at home. And when applying on the neck, ideally if you can do it in upward strokes. Okay. Now a lot of times what will happen if somebody is a little bit more sensitive, they will actually get a flushing in the skin. The skin will get red, and that's okay. That first stage is designed to actually stimulate blood circulation. The closer, or the more blood we have closer to the surface, the higher and the better the absorption rate of the products, of the ingredients. Don't worry about that. Don't be concerned, because that will calm down. By the time this is all done, the skin will be nice and calm, even with the most sensitive, even with rosacea skin. Might take just a couple of seconds or so before the reaction starts to happen, and we'll check in with Teresa here. Teresa, anything happening yet?
It's a warm sensation.
Okay. It will range from client or patient to patient. Some people will feel a lot more. Some people it'll be really tingly and stimulating. For others, maybe not as much. But they will experience at least that little bit of warmth, a little bit of the heat. But it will range from patient to patient. And during this time, we can also be doing other things, massaging the shoulders, neck, the hands, the feet even, if that's what you'd like to do. Or I know most clients and patients love to have their feet massaged. So, or you can let them rest. Okay, now we're about 5 minutes into the first stage of the mask, the Apple C tightening mask. And let's check in with Teresa here. Teresa, is it still a little warm, or did that subside already?
The warmth is subsiding.
Okay, so we're now into a little bit of a calming, cooling stage. And if there was any flushing, it'll start calming down in this next stage. After this stage, again, it's going to be the tightening. Then the mask is actually start setting. Right? It's actually technically going to be drying, which will cause a nice tight result for the face. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes now, and let's check in with Teresa. Teresa, has that gotten a little tighter, a little tauter at all?
Yes, it feels tight.
Okay, and so if it's a bit humid, or if you've had the steamer on, it might take a little bit longer for it to set if there's some humidity in the room. But if you're If the room is nice and dry, about 15 minutes should do it. Now we're going to be removing the mask, and the easiest way to remove the mask is to use a hot towel or barber wrap, and then we'll go back with our little 4x4 cotton wipes and remove the excess. And so we get our warm towel here. Make sure it's not too hot. And this step always feels nice and warm and cozy and good. So apply a little bit of pressure. This will get the mask nice and moist again, so it's easier to remove. Making sure that when you're removing the mask, we're not getting it into the hairline, we're not getting it into the eyebrows, because later, once your client, your patient leaves, what will happen is the mask will set again, and they'll be finding more of the applesauce mask in their hair. So just be very, very diligent about removing every bit of it. Okay, once we've removed all of the mask, make sure that the skin is nice and dry again, because we'll just reapply the serum once more. And then you would be very responsible to apply some sun protection on top of that, making sure that your client is well aware to stay out of the direct sunlight for at least 24 hours. But the nice part is, with all the vitamin C and the ferulic acid, even if they do, they'll be protected. This time around we won't put as much, we'll just do a little bit, just as a nice little finisher. Putting the Illuminating Eye Cream at this point would be ideal around the eyes, because that also protects from ultraviolet light. And then the Active Day Cream with SPF 30. This treatment is also great for the entire décolleté and also for the hands. And beautiful. Just from a little bit of the reflection of the light, I can already see the skin surface nice and smooth. That beautiful natural glow. And Teresa's going to be happy for the next 4 days. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at the doctor's office.